Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel Tomcat Stitchery. I'm Whitney and happy Sew Along Sunday. Okay, I am here. I kind of decided for the month of July we were going to kind of have a greatest hits type thing, just reminding you some of the tutorials that I already have on the channel. I get a lot of requests for tutorials, which is great because I want to make sure that there is plenty over there for you guys if you're struggling with certain techniques or whatever. That is kind of the whole point of the channel, is to spread the love of sewing and try and make it as unfrustrating as possible. Just sharing my perspective and my tips and tricks over here. But I just want to remind you, kind of do a highlight certain areas of tutorials that are on the channel already so that you guys can remember that. And then you can go back to this video, for instance. We're going to talk about bust darts and bust shaping today. And I will have all of those videos linked down below. So if you're having a hard time finding them, although all of these are all linked in the tutorial playlist on the channel. If you go to playlists on my channel homepage, you can go to tutorials and find those there. But this way they are readily available and make it easier for you to find. Okay, let's talk about busts. All right, bust darts, princess seams, any kind of bust shaping. I know that this can be a source of frustration for many, whether you need a full bust or small bust adjustment, and if you do, how much and how all of that runs. Now, I do have a fitting course that I ran in the spring, and I'll be running it again in the fall, where I go into deep detail about all the different adjustments you can do and how to really analyze your body to determine what you need and all of that jazz. But just to go over some high-level stuff, bust darts are there to help fit the roundness or the shape that you have in the front of your body. Obviously, men don't have bust darts because they are supposedly flatter through the chest. So if you are someone that is more rectangular and a little less curvy, you may be able to get away without having bust darts, and that's fine. That's fine. We are all built beautifully. We all have wonderful figures, beautiful bodies. It's just a matter of determining the things that you need for your own comfort and to get things that look the best on your particular body. So that's where fitting comes in. And fitting can be a huge thing with loving sewing and having it really change your life. It was a big one for me. And honestly, learning how to do a full bust adjustment was a game changer for me. So over on the tutorials, and I will link down below, I actually don't have a standard how to do a full bust adjustment video, which is kind of funny. I probably should do one at some point, nor do I have how to raise and lower a bust dart. It is in my fitting class, but I don't have anything as basic as that on the channel. Although either of those you can very easily search on YouTube and find, where those are located. But I do have an older video, but showing you how 3 different ways that you can do a dartless full bust adjustment. So on a knit top, for instance, how to do full bust adjustments, 3 different ways. You can kind of pick your favorite. I have some tutorials on how to do full bust adjustments and how to raise and lower apexes on princess seams that I will link down below, as well as how I sew my bust darts. All of that is already on the channel, and I talk a lot about that. Now, I did have someone ask how to explain bust darts and how those work. So if you are taking a flat pattern, if you're looking at a flat piece of paper, which all of our sewing patterns are flat, and you just sew that as is, you're sewing a flat piece of fabric. Now, you can put some shaping because we're not flat bodies, no matter what your figure looks like. We're all 3-dimensional. None of us are 2-dimensional. And we need some shaping to make that 2-dimensional piece of fabric go around our 3-dimensional bodies. A lot of that shaping can come in the form of seams, obviously, to create tubes that go around our body. But when we have busts, we need just a little bit of extra tweaking. And what a dart is, it's essentially a wedge that it's taking less fabric out underneath your arm, but releasing more fabric where the fullness of the chest kind of, and I'm using very unfortunate hand signals here, but the fullness then of the fabric can cover where it needs to cover. So bust darts, it's very important that you have a bust dart pointing at your apex because the whole point of the bust dart ending, before the apex, is that that's where the most fabric is. So if that's not hitting at the fullest part of your bust, you're going to get weird wrinkles, or it's going to fit tight, or if it's too low, it's going to fit in the tighter part of where it's supposed to be fitting your upper bust. If it's too high, then you're going to get weird, stuff sitting here, if things need to release. So it's very important that your bust darts are pointing as close as possible to the apex of your fullest part of your bust. Now, bras make a huge difference, folks. Buy good bras. Go get fitted. Bras, my apex can raise or lower like 1.5 inches, depending on the bra I'm wearing. I have a large bust, so there's obviously more wiggle room for it going up or down. But having newer bras, as my bras get older, they're not quite as holding me up as much. Sometimes I need to tighten my straps. But just remember that having the appropriate undergarments on can affect a bust dart almost as much as sewing it properly. So that is my PSA of the day, to make sure that you've got really well-fitting bras. That's going to make a huge difference in how your clothes fit as well. As well as when you're fitting a pattern on yourself, make sure you're fitting it on yourself in the undergarments you plan to wear with that garment, because that's going to make a huge difference. If you're fitting a pattern with a sports bra on, but you plan to wear a balconette bra with it, it's not going to fit right when you have the balconette bra on versus the sports bra. So just make sure you're fitting yourself with the same undergarments that you would wear once the garment is finished. Okay. Short and sweet, but I will link down below all of my bust related videos. Also, most of these are for full bust, but if you are someone that needs a small bust, it is literally, instead of swinging things out to create more room, you're swinging things in to make less room. So that is the only difference. You're overlapping pieces instead of spreading pieces. So keep in mind that most, not all, but most sewing patterns are drafted for a 2-inch difference between upper bust and full bust or less. So a lot of times with small bust adjustments, look at your finished bust measurements. You want at least 2 inches of ease at your bust, just for movement reasons, but check your finished bust measurements. But usually small bust adjustments are pretty minimal, even if you are very flat. So be careful on those. You don't want to make a garment that's too tight, because it will change the armhole. I said I was done. I'm not done. It will change the shape of your armscye a little bit. Just the shape. It doesn't change the length of the armscye at all. You don't have to adjust your sleeve at all. It just changes the shape of the armscye. So it makes it kind of a tighter curve for fuller busts and a looser, more open kind of curve there for the smaller busts. So not a lot. Don't worry about that. The sleeve can stay the same. You're not changing the length. You are literally just changing the shape. And that's just what your body needs, depending on what your bust looks like. Okay, as always, if you have any questions, leave them down below. I will have all of the videos linked right below this. The description box is located right underneath the title of the video. You a lot of times have to click down, show more or the arrow to release everything, but I have a lot that's there in that description box for you guys. So it's right above comments. It's right below the title and right above comments. Is where the description box lives. All right, guys, that's all I have for today. Let me know if you have questions. I'll answer those as soon as possible. And I will be back on Tuesday for a July plans. And make sure you sign up for the newsletter, because I have a kind of an exciting announcement that is going out in the newsletter tomorrow. I'll probably talk about it not on Tuesday, but I'll talk about it a little bit more on Friday. But if you want the scoop first, definitely sign up for that newsletter today, because it will go out tomorrow evening on Monday, the 3rd. So there you go. All right, that's all I have for today. Have a good one, and I'll talk to you on Tuesday. Bye-bye.